All right, good evening, everybody, and welcome into the Hayden Coker Show, presented to you by Senator Lance Bell. Senator Lance Bell, the best man I know, the best man he knows. And tonight, guys, we've got a fantastic show on hand. It's a shorter show, anyways. About 30 minutes or so tonight. We've got a game to catch. The Asheville Bulldogs are taking on Hamilton and the Aggies up in northern Alabama tonight at 7 o'clock. So, going to a buddy of mine's house. We're going to watch the game. We're going to have a good time. Asheville Dogs. We're going to win the game. Go Bulldogs, baby. All right, anyways, let's shift our gears because I have a show for you tonight. And I wanted to start off with some headlines. We'll go into those. Auburn, they got embarrassed, not by Kentucky, by Hugh Freeze and themselves. They were embarrassed. Alabama was off this past week. Vandy went down to Texas. Texas got a massive win. How about SMU upsetting Miami? That was a fun one. Georgia Tech takes a tumble as they lose to NC State. So we had some key games over the weekend. What's going to happen now, though, okay? We're going to roll into it. We're going to talk about it a little bit later on in the show. But, guys, right now, all right, so right now we're going to talk about a little something different. Instead of going straight into the HCS Power 12, which we will get to, don't you worry. Instead of going for game weekend right now, we're going to hold off on that. We're even going to hold off on the college football playoff rankings, and we're going to hold on those rankings for one reason only, okay? So the Auburn head football coaching search. Let's take a deep dive, all right? So I promised earlier on Facebook that I would take a deep dive, and I kind of forgot to mention on the show tonight. So in my comment section on Facebook, I have questions. Who? Spill, what you going to say? What you going to say? Well, now I'm going to tell you, and that's my fault. I updated it. I went back, I edited. So really, it just never happened, okay? It's a hydrate with the Buffalo Wild Wings sweet tea. Now, all right, who is going to build that? Who's going to go to Auburn and who's going to build? Okay, who's going to build like Steel 174 and Daniel Dawson and Bobby Welch? Who's going to build like those guys at Steel 174? Fantastic guys at Steel 174. They are still strong, still reliable, still 174. Who is it going to be? All right, now I do not have a name for you. Okay, I have a possible date of when this will happen or when they will have a possible head coach. We will see. I do not know for now. DJ Durkin, the head coach, is sitting right now, the interim head coach. Why is that so? Well, for one, obviously everybody knows Hugh Freeze is gone, and then they have to hire an interim head coach, and blah, blah, blah. You know how it goes. Anyways, let's dive into it, okay? Because this is the most excited I've been to talk about something on this show in quite a while. I guess it's probably Nick Saban got fired, not fired, but Nick Saban retired a little under 2 years ago, or however long ago that was. So let's take a deep dive, okay? Earlier in the week, I believe it was yesterday, actually. So Josh Pate was on Bussin' with the Boys. We all know that podcast and whatnot, with Taylor Lewan and Will Compton and everything. So Josh Pate took a deep dive, and basically he was throwing a name out there. I believe specifically it was for LSU. But he just kind of took a deep dive. He threw a grenade. He threw a bombshell at us. And basically he was saying Lincoln Riley is a name to watch. Now, I don't know. I didn't see the whole episode. I don't know if he's talking about LSU. I don't know if he's talking about another school that's hiring right now. Maybe there's a school that has not found it or that has not fired their head coach. And maybe they're waiting. They're sitting. Okay, Wisconsin, one of those schools that has not necessarily fired Luke Fickell yet. Coming out and saying, the AD coming out and saying that they're going to keep Luke Fickell for the 2026 year, saying that they are heavily invested in, trying to save money, essentially is what they were saying. So while that is something that is happening, while some coaches have not been fired yet, some coaches are going to stay there for another year that we kind of thought they would have been gone this year, considering, well, for instance, Luke Fickell. Now let's talk about it. I don't know who it's going to be. Who is Josh Pate talking about? Is he talking about Auburn? Is he talking about LSU? Is he talking about Florida? I don't think he's talking about Florida. I think he could be talking about LSU. I think he could be talking about Auburn. I don't necessarily think – I think those are the only schools that he would be referring to. I could be wrong on that, but those are the only schools that I think he could possibly be referring to. It's not UCLA. It's not Oklahoma State, I don't think. So, yeah, I do not know. But what I can tell you is that I've kind of gotten some quotes here from the Montgomery advisor, Adam Cole. Adam Cole broke this. Kenny Dillingham is more than likely not going to be the next head coach at Auburn University. He'd come out and said Dillingham, not even in a press conference, he just met with his players, said he plans to coach the Sun Devils in 2026 as I glanced down at the iPad. So I don't think that's going to happen. This is all per an Arizona State parent, by the way. So this is coming from Adam Cole, who is also coming from an Arizona State parent of a player. So I don't know. Just take that with a grain of salt. I don't think it's going to be Kenny Dillingham, okay? I don't think that's going to be who that is. And I also received a text earlier, and I'm going to go ahead and open that text. And a good buddy of mine, and I'm going to read what that says here. Okay, Merrill Smith says, I want Summerall, Durkin, or Keys in that order. No Dillingham, no Franklin, no Jimbo. USF coach I could live with. So first off, I want to go ahead and address this. Brent Keys it's not going to be Brent Key. So Merrill, if you're not watching, I'm sorry. I left you up right there. I do apologize. But anyways, I don't think it's going to be Brent Key. Excuse me. I don't think it'll be Brent Key. Brent Key came out in a press conference where he pretty much addressed it. He said, "Slice me open and see what colors I bleed. See the colors that I bleed." Get the quote right. Yeah, slice me open, see what colors I bleed. It's not going to be Brent Key. It's not going to be Kenny Dillingham. So I think now, and obviously this is kind of coach speak as well. You're not going to come out and say in the middle of the season, "Oh yeah, I'm kind of tossing that in my mind right now." Actually, I'm thinking about leaving the school that's winning right now and going somewhere else because I want to build something new. Nobody in their right mind, no head coach in their right mind is saying that. No offensive coordinator, not at all. Okay. But first off, let's just go ahead and establish something. And Merrill Smith says, watching. Thank you, Merrill. Sorry, I didn't leave you on red. I replied through this video. So technically, that's not red. Technically, I already responded. So you're good. Brooks Stevens says it'll be DJ Durkin. And I'm not going to lie, Brooks, I am kind of sort of trending toward that direction. I think that DJ Durkin, I don't know how well of a fit he would be. We haven't necessarily seen him be a head coach before. Prior to Maryland, I understand that. Prior to Maryland, I understand that. So I don't know, but that little stint at Maryland did not go well. I'd have to go back and do a little bit more of a deep dive on Maryland football whenever he was a head coach and really kind of see how that was. But obviously, I don't think it would be the same now as it was then. I just don't think it would be. He's had numerous stops as a defensive coordinator, and I think that he would be a good candidate. Now, John Cohen has come out and said that he will be in the ring whenever we go to pick. So I think that is a plus for Auburn. I think that there's fans out there that do want Durkin. I think there's people out there that are showing him support. I think the players would show him support. And quite frankly, I think he brings the energy. Seeing him on the sideline, he has that energy, and I thought he showed a lot more energy at times than Hugh Freeze did. And that's not a knock at Hugh Freeze. I think that Freeze is a phenomenal. Well, he's a good coach. It just didn't pan out. He's not a sorry excuse for a football coach. I don't believe that at all. I think he's a good football coach, but it just did not work out at Auburn. It just didn't. Okay. Now, if he's at Liberty, guys, he's still winning 9-10 games a year. So if you want to throw out the Hugh Freeze is a horrible coach allegation, go look at what he was doing at Liberty. All right. Because I guarantee you, if he got a job in the Group of Five tomorrow, next year, he would have a team at the Group of Five. Well, that's not already imploded as it is. He would have a Group of Five team in not necessarily the playoffs, I don't believe, but in the hunt to get into the playoffs as a Group of Five team. So obviously, that's all like in the past. That's all not even real. That's just something we're kind of speculating. But now, when it comes to the head coaching position for Auburn, John Cohen blatantly said this. John Cohen's come out and said this in a press conference that he hopes to have a head coach by the end of the Iron Bowl. And from what I was reading, it sounded like that he was more enthusiastic about it. After all, yeah, that's what he said. And as I look down at the iPad now, this is fully true. This is what John Cohen said. The iPad has it all. John Cohen hopes to have a head coach in place after the Iron Bowl. And here's the thing. Merrill Smith chimes in, says Hugh Freeze is sick and needs to take care of his health. Yeah, I don't know much on that. I don't know. But, yeah, Brooks Stevens, do you think Hugh coaches next year? No, probably not. I think he takes a step away. I think he's very grateful for his time at Auburn, and I think this is his time that he's probably going to reflect with his family and just kind of hang out. I don't know if he takes another job anywhere. I don't know if he goes to the Group of Five. I think if he goes anywhere, it would be the Group of Five, but I don't know. You have other head coaching positions open in the Power Four, but that's not up to me, so I don't know. But yeah, let's take a look at some of the possible candidates for Auburn. Okay, producer, clip this. Let's clip this. I want this to be out there tomorrow. Okay. tomorrow, Saturday, whenever you get a chance to. Anyways, producer, clip this. All right. Ryan Silverfield, okay? Looking down at the iPad. John Summerall, Brent Key, out. Kenny Dillingham, out. How about Silverfield? I don't know. Clark Lee. How about Clark Lee? Dan Mullen, DJ Durkin? I don't know. My favorite to land, and this is Hayden's favorite. So let's play Coker Pick'em. Hayden Pick'em. All right. If I'm picking the next head coach at Auburn, if I'm predicting it, not so say picking, but predicting the next head coach at Auburn, I think it would be DJ Durkin. All right. I'm not one of those guys that says, "Oh, he's a coordinator, he can't do it." While he may not be able to do it, while he may not be successful, I do not know. That is not for me to determine. That is for the AD to determine. All I can do is spew my thoughts on the internet and get called an idiot or smart. Either way, either one is fine. I prefer idiot, whichever one you'd like as well. But I certainly think that he's a good candidate, man. I prefer DJ Durkin over some of the potential hirees out there. They're hirees, some of the potential names out there, the candidates. I think DJ Durkin is going to land this job. I think that with what Cohen said about there being a head coach in place after the Iron Bowl, I don't think that there's time. The majority of the head coaches that I think a lot of people want are probably going to be in the playoffs or in postseason play, or at least in the ACC championship game. Heck, the Big 12 championship game with Kenny Dillingham is there. So we don't know. So I think that eliminates Dillingham. I think that eliminates Key, especially with what they've already said. Dillingham has already denied it to his players that he's going to be there for the 2026 season. He's not come out publicly and said this. This is all insider information, not an insider, but you get what I'm saying. So he said that. Okay, Brent Key, I bleed Georgia Tech colors. I bleed that gold. I bleed that white, that gray. It's not going to be those two. I don't think it'll be John Gruden. I don't think it'll be Lane Kiffin. Nobody thinks it's going to be Lane Kiffin, but that's all outlandish. That's me saying. And by the way, I did say this. I did say that I think that Lane Kiffin should be Auburn's first call, because it should be. Why would it not? Why would Lane Kiffin not be anybody's first call right now? Unless Kirby Smart happens to want to get out of Georgia. It's not going to happen. But I think Lane Kiffin, top 5 coach in America right now, who would not call Lane Kiffin to be that number 1 option? I don't know. But you know what? It's not going to happen for Auburn. I don't think it'll happen for Florida. It's not going to happen for Arkansas. The only potential landing spot that I see for Lane Kiffin, well, there's a bunch of potential landing spots. The only landing spot that I see for Lane Kiffin is LSU. I think it's a perfect fit. Now back to Auburn. Silverfield is in there. Alex Golish is in there. People are saying John Gruden. It's not going to be Gruden. I don't think Gruden's coming back, although he's expressed heavy interest in coming to the SEC and coaching for the SEC or in the SEC. So I don't know. I cannot tell you exactly who's going to be the coach, but I did have some news to drop. I wanted to drop it for you. Now we can move on. It is 6:14 on a wonderful, wonderful Thursday evening here, and about 15 minutes or so, we'll wrap up the show. But first, guys, I've got to get to this, and I wanted to drop that little bit of news for you that I had, and that was coming out from the Montgomery Advisory. That was not made up. So, Merrill Smith says, I can live with Durkin, idiot. Thank you. Appreciate that. He's calling me an idiot, not Durkin. So Merrill Smith hates me, is basically what you're hearing, okay? And I know why you're calling me an idiot, Merrill, I promise. But Merrill Smith hates me, all right? You heard it here first. Merrill Smith hates me, he hates my guts, and he hopes that I quit my show. All right, anyways, so everybody go hate on Merrill Smith, by the way. Now, moving on. All right, we talked about Lincoln Riley. Is that a possibility? I don't necessarily think that, but I think there's always a possibility, especially with Lincoln Riley's name now being thrown out there. Thanks, Josh Pate, for the record. So, will we see? I don't know. Merrill, I know it, brother. I appreciate it. And my manager, my producer's coming in my ear here saying that he has some dirt on Merrill Smith that needs to drop. And I don't necessarily think that's true. I think he's just all putting it out there for hearsay, for speculation and whatnot. I don't think that's true, Merrill. Don't worry. But all right. Anyways, college football playoffs. They dropped the ranking. They dropped the top 12 teams. All right, so let's go ahead and dive into it. I'll look down at the iPad here in a minute. But first off, I want to give you the first 4 seeds. So Ohio State, number 1. Ohio State was number 1 overall. We love it. That's cool. I think that they're the number 1 team in the nation. Do they have the best resume? No, not at all. It's not anywhere near the best resume in America. But let me just tell you, their win against Texas looks a lot better. The win against Washington, it looks good. If you followed me for a little bit, you know that I was high on Washington. So I think that's a good win as well. I think they're going to have some more wins. They're going to have to pile up as well. They can't afford to lose because obviously they're going to drop that number 1 spot if they do lose. Let's talk about Indiana. Does Indiana deserve that number 2 spot? Yes, I think so. Okay, they blew out a top 25 ranked at the time Illinois Fighting Illini. Yes, they did. So what? Okay, it is what it is. A lot of people are going to say that's not a real top 25 team. I don't really care. They were at the time. Okay. Then what they did to an Oregon team. Honestly, I think the Oregon game, I thought that Indiana looked a whole lot better than the score allowed. Indiana looked really good, man. It's not a team that just pops off the paper when it comes to 5-star recruits, 4-star recruits, or anything like that. They've got a damn good coaching staff, man. Kurt Cignetti is the man, and I think he's put together a good coaching staff there. I think he's put together a fine roster as well. Fernando Mendoza, if you watched the show last year, you knew that he was going to be good. If you watched the show going into the offseason, we all said this guy was going to be good. We knew it because Auburn fans got to witness it firsthand, okay? They didn't win because of Jaden Ott last year, or they didn't lose to California last year, Auburn anyways, to California because of Jaden Ott. No. It was Fernando Mendoza. So take with it what you will, guys. We kind of told you this was going to happen last year. Not Indiana being this good, but Fernando Mendoza. Indiana, they're shocking folks. Now, schedule, other than those 2 teams, not necessarily all that great. They beat a good Iowa team who I think is going to make some noise this weekend. Tell your mama. But I don't know, man. Indiana's good. They're legit, man. Producer, clip that. Now, number 3, we have the Texas A&M Aggies, okay? I think they deserve that spot. They have not lost yet. That is why I think they deserve that spot over Alabama. Alabama, they put together a fine resume, but they've lost. They lost at the season. They lost as the season opener, okay? Now, everybody can say what they want to about that game. No, it doesn't matter. It's just the first week of the season. Look what they've done since. It does not matter, okay? Week 1 is still a part of the 2025 season. So it's still attached. It's not an FUT. It's still attached. So you can't sit there and say that. Now, I understand. I get it. I understand your heartache. I understand what you're coming from, where you're coming from. But understand this. There's teams ahead of you that have not lost and have done nothing to say that they should be ranked below you. So you can make an argument for A&M. Sorry, they're undefeated, and they have their resume. So those are the top 4. Now let's take a look at the predicted ranked matchups here. Okay, Notre Dame coming in at number 10. Hydration, baby, hydration. Woo! Man, Jose Cuervo, dude. My goodness gracious. All right, let's go from the top. I'll go from the top. 12 Memphis and 5 Georgia. That's the first matchup in the college football playoffs. 12 Memphis, 5 Georgia. Number 9, we have Oregon. At number 8, Texas Tech. By the way, these are all on home fields, okay? So all on college campuses. Number 10, Notre Dame. They're going to go to number 7, BYU. The Catholics versus Mormons. Now, that's a holy war. All right, now let's go from number 11. You have the Virginia Cavaliers taking on number 6, the Ole Miss Rebels. So the winner between Virginia and Ole Miss would take on A&M. A&M at number 3, Alabama at number 4. Notre Dame and BYU, that winner would take on Indiana. Notre Dame, Indiana, we saw what happened last year. Notre Dame beat them. All right, now let's go to the other side of the bracket. Number 12, Memphis versus number 5, Georgia. The winner of that game would take on Alabama. A Georgia versus Bama rematch? I don't know. And then you have the game in the top half of the bracket. Number 9, Oregon, and number 8, Texas Tech. So that winner would take on Ohio State. I don't know, man. I like it. I like where these rankings lie. I think that Oregon being bumped down a notch, I love that. I think that that's perfect. I love these rankings, man. I was talking to a buddy of mine. I told him exactly what it was going to be, and that is what I thought. All right, now here's what I wanted to talk about. Now, Brooks, I understand you can agree with me on this. So let's talk about this one for a second, okay? Okay, Brooks, they played USC last week. They beat another ranked team. First off, we'll drop that one. But let's just dive into this. So, yes, A&M has played 3 ranked teams. Schedule not as soft as some people would like, okay? But imagine they win all those games. Then it's like, oh, well, they're good. They have a resume. Yes, that's the thing with not winning those games. You don't have a resume. So that's the thing with those games. Now let's break it down, okay? Notre Dame, their 2 losses against AP top 25 opponents. Top 15 opponents. I believe top 10 opponents. Let's look at this. A&M's two top 25 matchups. Producer, let's clip this. Notre Dame's 2 top 25 matchups. Both of those losses were by a combined 4 points. Both losses by a combined 4 points. I get it. They lost the game. That's not where I'm heading. That's not where I'm heading in that direction. Now, I am saying that. Let's just cupcake that at the top. That's going to be the icing. Now, the cupcake. So let's talk about the breading here. The cupcake. Okay, Notre Dame. We know what they've been. Okay, we know what they've been. We know that they haven't necessarily won a fair amount of ranked games to necessarily be scheduled or ranked this high. Okay, that's the cupcake. Now let's look at the icing. Okay, their 2 wins or their 2 losses in the top 25. Combined 4 points, guys. 3-point loss to Miami, 1 point loss to A&M. And you can argue a horrible call late in the game. We're not going to talk about that, okay? Shouldn't have gone A&M's way, but it did. Let's just scratch that. Now, let's look at the cherry on top. They beat USC. That's a ranked win. All right. Finish out the remainder of the year unbeaten. What do you say then? Now, I get that rankings, when it comes to the HCS Power 12, rankings are not what they will be. It's what they are now, okay? These rankings are what they are now, not what they will be toward the end of the season. Now, I understand some people are a little confused as to why Notre Dame is that high, but their 2 losses are to top 15 teams by a combination of 4 points. I understand the flack that Notre Dame is getting. I understand the flack that the committee may be getting, and we can go in with some comments here. Merrill Smith, I believe he's talking to Brooks. USC won't be ranked by the end of the season. That's where I disagree. I think that USC is a really good ball team. I think that they have a chance to upset Oregon in a few weeks. I think that this team is better than advertised, and I think they've got a chance to make the playoffs. I don't think they do. I do not think that USC does make the playoff. Just go ahead and say that. I don't think they do, but they've got a chance. All right. Now, Brooks Stevens says, and look how bad Miami has gotten also. But look at where they were. All right. Now, it was at one point that Miami was the number 1 team, the number 1 ranked team in the nation. Not by the AP. I'm talking about me. Me, other outlets out there, not just the AP or not the AP. But me, other outlets, everybody was arguing for Miami to be the number 1 team in the nation because of how good they were playing at once. Okay, now I get it; it's different. But are we going to say that? Are we going to say that? How can I confirm this? So let's say A&M loses this weekend to Missouri. They're playing like one of the best teams in the nation right now. If they go out there and they lose this weekend, does that automatically make them a bad team for playing bad? So it can go a bunch of different ways, in my opinion. So I like the Notre Dame ranking at 10. I think you could make the argument that they could be lower, 11, 12, 13, 14. I think that's fine. I don't think there's much separation between 10, 11, 12, 13 right now. But for right now, I like the number 10 ranking for Notre Dame. Their 2 losses in the top 25, like I said, have been by combined 4 points. So I don't hate it. I don't hate it at all. I think it's phenomenal. Not phenomenal. I think it's cool. I don't mind it. I don't hate it. So now let's take a dive into the HCS Power 12. Okay, the HCS Power 12. Hey, Patrick Williams, that's not the right slide I was going to. Not the right slide I was going to at all, guys. Now we're going to jump into the HCS Power 12. There we go. All right. HCS Power 12. And yeah, Brooks, he's horrible in November. I get that. I understand. And I kind of expected Miami to fall off at some point just because of who Mario Cristobal is and what he's been over the last few years. So that's it. This is the HCS Power 12, okay? Here's a presentation here. This is the Hayden Coaching Show presented to you by Senator Lance Bell. Senator Lance Bell, the best man I know, the best man he knows. Thank you, Lance, for everything you did for me. Thank you for everything you did for the community. He's one of the sole reasons this show is going right now. I highly appreciate Lance and all that he does, okay? Now, the HCS Power 12 is a hydrate with the Buffalo Wild Wings sweet tea. It's a Carson back. Yeah, I understand. He's playing pretty bad right now. All right, now HCS Power 12, Group of 5, Miami. Okay, Ryan Silverfield has those guys going. Memphis looks electric right now. So Memphis is at that Group of 5 position in the HCS Power 12. Texas has made a reappearance there. Texas at number 11. Texas Tech at number 10. They have reappeared as well. Notre Dame coming in at number 9. I know, Brooks, you're not going to like that at all. I understand. It's fine. BYU at number 8. Now, BYU has officially risen into the HCS Power 12. This weekend, either BYU or Texas Tech falls out. It's just that simple. Texas Tech is favored by 10. I think that'll be a close game. I think that Texas Tech wins that game, and I think they catapult into the top 8, possibly top 7. I don't know. Oregon at number 7. I'm debating dropping them. Let's take a look at them later on in the show. Ole Miss at 6, Georgia at 5, Alabama at 4, A&M 3, Indiana 2, and Ohio State at number 1. Now, moving on. So that's the HCS Power 12. I hope you guys like that. I hope you guys enjoy it. That is my favorite thing to do each and every weekend after college football. Okay, you got going to. That's one of my favorite things to do. So I hope you guys like it. Hope you enjoyed it. Let's wrap this thing up. Okay. Iowa. Let's talk about Iowa Hawkeyes. The Iowa Hawkeyes are hosting the Oregon Ducks this weekend. Producer clip this. Iowa is hosting the Oregon Ducks this weekend. The Oregon Ducks are currently a 6.5-point favorite. And let me just tell you, in Iowa, some bad weather, man. It's going to be rainy. This game is going to be a game that is going to be run on the ground, powered by the ground. Okay, give me the Hawkeyes, man. I'm taking Iowa. I'll take the Hawkeyes in this one. I think that they're playing some really good football right now. Their best football has been played as of late. They aren't the world beater. They still aren't putting up much offense at all. They're just defensively, man. They're just outstanding. So give me the Iowa Hawkeyes. I think they upset Oregon in this one. I'll take them, man. I'll take them. Now, another one, Auburn versus Vandy. All right, real quick, Steel 174, massive shout out to Steel 174. Massive shout out, phenomenal construction company that can build your house. They're not going to do it out of gingerbread material. They put it together. It's not going to fall over, guys, okay? The big bad wolf cannot come and blow that thing over, okay? So, Steel 174, one of the best there is. Dawson Welch, Daniel Welch, Bobby Welch. They got a whole crew full of guys that I'm not going to name because I don't want to miss any names there. But those guys are good, still strong, still reliable. Steel 174, they can get it done for you. Go to Steel 174 on Facebook. Steel, Steele 174. They can get you going. Auburn and Vandy. I've got Vandy, but I think it's going to be a really, really tight game. I think the energy on Auburn's end is going to be high. I think that Durkin and company are going to come out, and they're going to come out with their hair on fire. Sorry, Durkin, not your head hair. You don't have any, but I think this will be a really close game, and I think that the momentum will start to shift to DJ Durkin after this game. But the question is, can they get it done? Can they win this football game? Throw this out the window. Auburn's going to win this game, man. Auburn's going to win this game. I think Durkin, he's going to put this team on his back. I think that he has the team support. I'm going to go with Auburn. I think they win the game. I think they win it outright. And Ashton Daniels starting at quarterback. Defensively, they'll hold it down, but Ashton Daniels, I think he makes some plays on his feet that people say, hey, well, I like that. I like this kid. Maybe he should start over Jackson Arnold. Give me Auburn. Give me the Tigers, all right? Mizzou and A&M. I've got A&M, slim margin, okay? Slim margin, A&M grows that lead late. All right, let's jump into it. BYU, Texas Tech before we go. Give me the Texas Tech Red Raiders, and that is going to wrap up the Hayden Coker Show presented to you by Senator Lance Bell as we go into a phenomenal college football weekend. And the Asheville Bulldogs are taking on the Hamilton Aggies tonight in the first round of the playoffs. Asheville first appearance in a while. Get out, support the Bulldogs on NFHS if you're watching it at home, or if you're going to the game and you're streaming and you're on the way to the game. Have fun. Hope you guys have a good one. Real quick, massive shout out to Merrill Smith and Brooke Stevens for watching in the live chat. But I appreciate everybody for joining. Appreciate you for watching. Thank you to Buffalo Wild Wings here in Pell City. Massive shout out to Buffalo Wild Wings. Phenomenal cheesecake, by the way. Get the cheesecake here at Buffalo Wild Wings. It's great. Tastes good. Party in my mouth. Whoa. I love it, man. Y'all have a good one. Take care. We will see you guys next week. Don't go nowhere. We'll see you around. Be careful.